Hello to all my friends out there. Hello to all the children out there. And hello to all the dogs out there. So this video is oatmeal smoothie. And I usually eat these in the middle of the night, but I just feel like eating one this morning. So, I'm making an oatmeal smoothie. But the thing about these is, this is a good prepper meal. If you have to use your stockpile, you need meals. Okay, so I have 1 cup water and, just a pinch of salt. And 1/3 cup oatmeal. And the other half of this video is, so why the stories? Okay, so now let's go over here. This is dangerous, my tripod. I'll make my life miserable. It'll be so ridiculous. Okay, so I have the oatmeal going, and I bought the oatmeal at Dollar Tree. And so then for the oatmeal smoothie, you're going to need milk. You could use the powdered milk. You could use any kind of milk. And so I'm going to use evaporated milk because I have some left from my soup. So the soup was good. Usually when you see me use the evaporated milk, I use half and half water and half milk. But in the soup last night, I didn't. I just used about a half a cup of evaporated milk. And that is one thing to stockpile for sure. So I have about 1 cup milk. This is enough for one person. So, okay, so usually you want to add some kind of nuts if you have them. I stockpile nuts. And then some kind of fruit. It could be any kind of dried fruit. This is a good way to make use of your fruit. I decided to use trail mix because I started stockpiling trail mix. So what I did is I separated the nuts and I chopped the nuts. This is raw brown sugar, and I keep mine in the freezer. After I finish this, I will put the oatmeal in the freezer. And so you can just cut it off with the side of a sharp knife. And okay, so I have bananas, so I will have some bananas in my smoothie. It could be any kind of fruit. Grated apples is really good. So Dollar Tree has a nice assortment of dried fruit, dried apples. I have some apples back here. I'll get to that in a minute. And I will dehydrate those. Those would have been perfect in this, but, I ate all my dehydrated. When you dehydrate them, they're not that much, but when you add water and you rehydrate them, they go back to being as much as however many apples you dehydrated. And if you buy the dehydrated apricots at Dollar Tree and you make jam out of them, there is like 8 apricots in there. Those are really good value. So I'm using bananas in my smoothies, but for the rest of these bananas back here, I will freeze them for smoothies. So I have some oatmeal I bought at Dollar Tree, some milk, some powdered milk, and some evaporated milk. I have some fruit. I'm probably going to dehydrate these. I have some nuts, some dried fruit. So in your food storage, you want some nuts, dehydrated fruit, and I'm forgetting something. Nuts, dehydrated fruit, nuts and dehydrated fruit. Okay, so now back to my smoothie. So now these are really good snacks at night if you need snacks at night. So So this is going to be a good little smoothie. It could be any fruits. It could be any nuts. Today I will buy some fruit at Dollar Tree. I'll show you the ones I pick. And I will buy some soup today for the stockpile. Okay, so now I want to add the milk. And I want to make this like a drink. This is going to be a good drink. So if you get into the habit, and so, okay, now back over here. And I keep these in the freezer. It could be brown sugar too. That would be good too. Okay, so I bought a dented can, I think it was last night, and on the back here is a good recipe. I'm going to post this on Twitter, and I said, oh goody, I'm looking for casseroles. Chili pasta bake, 1 pound, one pound pasta, beef, 1 pound beef, I'm using turkey, onion, chili powder, tomatoes, tomato sauce, salsa, diced green chilies, and Mexican cheese. So I will just use whatever I have on hand, and I will make myself up a little casserole. So, okay, now what about these stories? Why are you reading all these stories? Okay, I think if you read stories to your kids every single day, you're going to have a totally different kid in time. But what people have patience to read for like an hour, half hour every single day? Well, I do. I used to take classes and I used to read until 2 o'clock in the morning. Some of my stories could be read better, but it's like the homemade story thing. Kid, here's the story you're getting. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm picking out a variety of stories, all different kinds of stories, some for older kids, some for bigger kids, just, you know, a multitude of different kinds of stories, and I have a reason for doing that. Okay, on some of the stories for the little kids, they're conceptualizing comments like above, below, up, down, numbers, such things like that. And for the bigger kids, the stories usually are demonstrating some kind of a concept, underlying concept, good underlying concepts. So, okay, so you might have noticed some of these stories contain stories about magic, and a lot of Christians dislike magic. I'm not wild about magic either, but we all know, you know, all through time, most of the fairy tales contain tales of magic. Why is that? Well, the reason is because magic is real. So can you think of an event that is coming up, and they have told everybody flat out there is going to be magic, Coachella, under the stage. A lot of the rock stars, you know, there was evidence of magic. One of the famous ones that I love to watch is Like a Ball and Chain by Janis Joplin, and Mama Cass has her creepy little spider, and you know, anyway, so the point of the stories about magic is magic real? Yeah, magic is real. And in the story of the White Stag, there is an underlying, in history, there is an underlying thread, and she describes it as a gold thread. And the stories, you know, sometimes point this out. So, you know, what I used to do when my son was a little kid is I used to tell him, well, you know, magic is undesirable, but sometimes, well, for us, I'm not big into magic. but it does exist. In the low-end beauty shops I worked in, there was magic, voodoo, and spell casting and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I was exposed to it long enough that I immediately know when, you know, someone's doing magic, voodoo. I just know. And so, okay, so the point of the reading is, now on my phone, I can drag everything to the big screen in my living room. But in time, if your child is exposed to reading, all kinds of reading, that you're going to have a totally different child. You're going to have a child better able to conceptualize language, ideas, concepts. And also, it tells them, if you want to find out something, just read it. They say people are addicted to their phones and they're not reading. Well, the problem with that is possibly true some people, and those people could be disadvantaging their children. So I'm putting the stories out there, and I'm going to keep doing it until I used to read to my son when he was a child. And what it would do is, and he was very interested in these stories too, and I'll tell you why, because it prolonged the time until he had to go to bed. The longer I kept reading, the longer he was basically able to stay up. So, you know, I used child psychology on him. So anyway, I want to encourage you guys to read to your kids, but you know, I'll be doing a lot of reading. So, and this is leftover chamomile tea. I love these little pictures. I bought them at Dollar Tree. I use them for everything. Okay, now my smoothie is done. Let me show you. You could make it thinner. I just happen to like mine like a drink. And then what I do is I take an iced teaspoon and I eat the fruit or the nuts or whatever is down there at the bottom of the smoothie. I eat it. This is good. Okay, you guys, God bless you all.